Think about your last video call. You clicked join, the camera turned on, and that was it. No energy, no personality, a missed opportunity. It's time to level up with Airtime. Airtime Camera lets you control how you show up on video, touch up your appearance, add an aesthetic pop, or drop visuals and GIF reactions. Make Airtime your default camera for Zoom, Meet, or Teams and stand out the moment you turn your webcam on. Get it for Mac and Windows at airtime.com. That's airtime.com.
Tonight's meal, tilapia surprise with boiled cabbage. Begin cooking steps 1 through 50 now.
Are you kidding me? Making dinner shouldn't feel like doing a 1,000-piece puzzle. With Blue Apron's new one-pan assemble and bake meals, the hard part's already done. Pre-chopped ingredients, zero stress. Just assemble, bake, and enjoy. No complicated steps, no mountain of dishes. Try Assemble and Bake today. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
On today's Smart 7, tensions rise ahead of crunch by-election, US and Iran set to resume peace talks and much more. It's Thursday, 26th of February, it's Pistachio Day, and happy birthday, Michael Bolton.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Thursday sees a crucial by-election underway in the Greater Manchester constituency of Gorton and Denton, and 2 recent polls suggest that it is neck and neck between Labour, the Greens and Reform. That may have led to some heightened tension at Prime Minister's question time, and the news that the Tory candidate is polling at about 3% seems to have inspired Tory leader Kemi Badenoch to take things up a notch when it came to sparring with the PM over the recent Epstein scandals.
Perhaps before he gets on his high horse, he should ask why his backbenchers are saying that they're being called the Pedo Defenders Party. Yes. I didn't say it.
That outburst provoked a serious reaction from Labour backbenchers and sparked them into vocal support for the PM as he responded.
Yet again, she's shown why she is so utterly irrelevant. All she does is carp from the sidelines. In the meantime, because of our work, what is happening? Energy bills down, as announced this morning. Inflation down. Borrowing down.
Details emerged on Wednesday about a potentially alarming incident at a mosque in Manchester. A man was arrested after being detained by volunteers at the Manchester Central Mosque after they noticed that he was carrying a bag containing an axe. They accompanied him to a side room and called police, and it turned out the bag had a variety of weapons, including knives. Police are still seeking a second man in connection with the incident. There's been no suggestion that the man made any threats, and police are not treating it as a terrorist incident, but Assistant Chief Constable John Webster was keen to emphasise his force are on alert during Ramadan.
This is a time where Muslims come together to observe Ramadan. They should feel safe in their place of worship. We do give places of worship increased attention during this period. We do understand and we are listening.
Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, said the incident was a cause for deep concern and sought to reassure the community that there was no risk of complacency when it comes to their right to worship in peace.
Everybody in our city region should be free to practice that faith, to worship in their communities, and we will never accept a city region where people have any fear of being at their place of worship.
There was a new twist in the tale of Peter Mandelson on Wednesday. The former UK ambassador to the US and former business secretary was arrested and questioned by police on Monday before being released on bail early on Tuesday morning. Mandelson took great offence at the arrest and says the Met Police informed him that they'd had a tip that he might be planning to flee the country. He denies that, and on Wednesday, the Met Police found themselves having to apologise to the Speaker of the House of Commons after they accidentally revealed he was the source of the information. It all seems very messy, and Sir Lindsay Hoyle wasn't inclined to comment any further on Wednesday.
Upon receipt of information, I passed this on to the Metropolitan Police. It is regrettable this rapidly ended in the media, as this is a live investigation.
Thursday will see the US and Iran resume peace talks, with Donald Trump's envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff set to meet an Iranian delegation including Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi in Geneva. Trump and US Vice President J.D. Vance have both said they are seeking a diplomatic solution, while also warning that the US has other tools at its disposal, which presumably includes the US Armada perched in the Gulf. The aftermath of Trump's State of the Union address on Tuesday night saw pushback from the state of Minnesota, which was accused of stunning levels of corruption by the president. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says the constant insults and the ICE invasion have failed to dent his state's sense of community spirit.
They have not been broken. The president thought that they were going to come into Minneapolis and bully people into submission. And what they found instead was tens of thousands of people that were going to stand up and peacefully protest.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, in association with Metro, the Champions League last 16 are set, and Prue Leith spills some vintage tea. Right after this.
This episode of the Smart 7 in association with Metro is brought to you by Tesco Whoosh. Now picture this. You're halfway through your night on the sofa, fully locked into the Stranger Things finale, and you're just at the big reveal where you think that Vecna's going to an 11 sack and their other graduation where Winona Ryder seems than ever. What do you mean, spoiler? They should have seen it, but I'll bleep it out. Anyway, then disaster strikes. You realise you've run out of snacks. There's no crisps, no chocolate, there's nothing in the fridge except tap water and regret. It's a nightmare. And honestly, this has been me more times than I care to admit. Well, that's where Tesco Whoosh comes in. If you've run out of snacks, Tesco Whoosh is here to help with treats and drinks delivered to your door in as little as 20 minutes. Enough time to pause, not panic, and get back to the good bit. The best part? It's all available through the Tesco app. Whenever you need your groceries fast, Tesco Whoosh is ready. Delivered from as little as 20 minutes with Tesco Whoosh in selected areas. Come on, 11!
Think about your last video call. You clicked join, the camera turned on, and that was it. No energy, no personality, a missed opportunity. It's time to level up with Airtime. Airtime Camera lets you control how you show up on video, touch up your appearance, add an aesthetic pop or drop visuals and GIF reactions. Make Airtime your default camera for Zoom, Meet or Teams and stand out the moment you turn your webcam on. Get it for Mac and Windows at airtime.com. That's airtime.com.
Welcome back. Wednesday night saw the second legs of the Champions League playoffs wrap up, and we now know the full lineup for the round of 16. Italian side Atalanta knocked Dortmund out, while PSG drew with Monaco but went through 5-4 on aggregate. Juventus went to extra time against Galatasaray but couldn't beat the Turkish side, who went through 7-5 on aggregate. Last week saw drama around the first leg of the Benfica versus Real Madrid game, and the Spanish Giants had their revenge with a 2-1 win, which included another goal from Vinicius Jr. that was enough to knock out Jose Mourinho's team. Former Liverpool player Trent Alexander-Arnold was happy that his side stayed focused.
Our focus was getting through. That's all that mattered to us kind of today. It wasn't about proving a message or sending a message to anyone. It was about winning the game. Let our football do the talking, and that's what we did.
A genuine baking legend has left the Bake Off tent as Prue Leith stepped down after 9 seasons of the Great British Bake Off. She's been replaced by Nigella Lawson, and you might think that at 86 years of age, Prue could be considering retirement, but that doesn't seem to be the case. She's got a brand new book out called Being Old and Learning to Love It, and she's busy doing the PR rounds and revealing secrets like a cake and red wine diet, which she says meant that she never gained a pound, even in the world's most famous bakery. She popped up with Chris Evans on Virgin and shared some stories about her first venture, a very cool restaurant back in the late 60s.
The one I remember most vividly is the Beatles, because I was such a Beatles fan, so I wanted to be the person who served them. But I did ask them what they wanted, and they said, "Oh, we want a fry-up." And I said, "Look, this is a really expensive restaurant, and so your fry-up's going to be very expensive." And they said, "You know what? We can afford it."
Yeah!
If you're a podcast listener, then you're probably familiar with something called the manosphere. It's not some kind of exercise equipment which men get wrapped in, rather it's a collection of opinionated male podcasters who have very firm views on women, politics and apparently diet supplements. We're talking about Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate and that kind of thing, but some elements of it are so toxic and misogynistic that the UN is concerned about its impact on young men. Now Louis Theroux has picked up his headphones and ventured into the bare-chested world in search of even a single original thought in a new Netflix documentary called Inside the Manosphere, and it drops on March 11th.
I'm doing it for money. I don't care about
the morality of it.
I'm not living for other people. I'm living for myself.
The mother of my children, she doesn't talk to other men. Stings, huh? You seem upset by it. You seem upset by it.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Here's how to stay alive longer so you can enjoy Boost Mobile's unlimited plan with a price that never goes up. Do not mistake a wasp nest for a piñata. Stay alive and switch now at Boost Mobile. After 30 gigs, customers may experience lower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Think about your last video call. You clicked join, the camera turned on, and that was it. No energy, no personality, a missed opportunity. It's time to level up with Airtime. Airtime Camera lets you control how you show up on video, touch up your appearance, add an aesthetic pop, or drop visuals and GIF reactions. Make Airtime your default camera for Zoom, Meet, or Teams and stand out the moment you turn your webcam on. Get it for Mac and Windows at airtime.com. That's airtime.com.